just can't stop, won't stop hustling. But I just
Grinders and grindettes, man. We got to talk about it. Versus, you know, I love talking about verses, man. I just like competitive things, man. That's just my nature. I'm a competitive person at heart. If you hang with me, you know me personally, you know I'm always doing, yo, what you think better? This. My boy Billy always say that. Yo, he's like, dude, every day I know what you're gonna talk about. You're gonna say, you're gonna compare something. I'm like, you don't know me. But anyway, I go by the name of the Black Abstract. If you're new to the channel, let me introduce myself. Black Abstract. I'm a rapper, entrepreneur, strategist, now YouTuber, promoter. I do a bunch of things, but right now I'm on this YouTube kick. I'm liking it. I appreciate everybody that has been subscribing. We just hit 2K subscribers before the new year. I reached my goal. My next goal is 5,000 before May. It's a big jump, but I'm going to try. But what I want to talk about today is the top 10 verses to me. Because, listen, we got a lot of verses. We could talk about them. I looked it up. I was doing my research last night. It's about 35, 40. There's a lot of verses. A lot of the verses we didn't even know about prior to, before verses was like a big thing. We didn't even fully know about this yet. A lot of people didn't know. So it's a lot of dope verses out there. You know how they were doing it at first? It was just, they were doing this right off I think it was like Facebook, Instagram Live. They were just doing them right over there. Like, I did started watching it when they were doing that, but it was later on. So some of these first verses I didn't know about, like John to Austin and Neo, and Sean Garrett versus The Dream, Hit Boy versus Boy Wonder. A lot of these I didn't know about. I came in later on, maybe when it was, I'm trying to think of the first one I saw that was on the screen. It wasn't Teddy Riley, Babyface. I remember watching them before that. It was one of the ones that was on the screen. I don't know. I would have to check the list. But I got my top 10 and I got my honorable mentions. Okay, and this is no particular order. But this is just my order. So I'm gonna do my honorable mentions first. Honorable mention, Babyface versus Teddy Riley, which was classic based on the aesthetics of the verses. This is one of the ones that was over the phone, and Teddy Riley just could not get it right, man. It was just, he was just having technical difficulties from the jump. It got so bad to the first one, they had to cancel it and postpone it. I think it was on a Saturday. They postponed it to a Monday. He came back, finally got it right. He had a full band. He was trying to stream to his website at the same time as focus on the verses. And the trash talking was just, that's what makes a versus to me, because it's the trash talking. I can't stand there and watch it when they just being super friendly. It got to be some kind of shade thrown somewhere, and we got that. I didn't know Babyface. Babyface could throw shade with the best of them, brother. And he got the catalog to back it up. I thought, this is what I predicted. I predicted Teddy Riley was going to be the victor because I thought I was a bigger Teddy Riley fan. But no, it was some of these records that I didn't know Babyface even wrote or had nothing to do with. And I was just like, phew, he killing Teddy right now. And a lot of people, it was the same thing with the verses with Bobby Brown and Keith Sweat. That's why I chose Keith Sweat from seeing his catalog in that verses, because the Bobby records wasn't hitting against some of them Babyface records. So that's initially how I came up with that. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, this was a great verses. But fortunately, it didn't make my top 10. Just for the simple fact it was the technical difficulties. Babyface did win that versus, by the way. Next one, Hit Boy versus Boy Wonder. Man, this was classic. I watched this for the first time last night. They were using their drops from Drake as rebuttals whenever they played the song. So when Drake was like, I should call Hit Boy because I got all the hits, boy. Hit Boy would play that. Then Boy Wonder would play another Drake. He'll play some. I think he played the next, whatever Drake said next. You should call me Hit Boy because I got all the hits, boy. I'm the rookie and the vet. Some shit Boy Wonder was saying, but he was rebuttaling And man, listen, I love Hit Boy to death. I want to work with him. I think he revived Nas' career. This was before the Nas stuff. This is before the Big Sean stuff that he's been working on. But Boy Wonder slayed him. It was not even close. And Boy Wonder deserved to talk his shit. His name need to be in these conversations of the GOATs. This man's catalog spans back a decade damn near. So does Hit Boy's. But Boy Wonder just has those bigger records, man. And kudos to him. This is another one they should redo. It was classic. Listen, Boy Wonder kept saying, I like that record, but you gotta say it with your chest when you play the record. Say it with your chest. Hit Boy will play Woo by Rihanna, which is one of my favorite Rihanna songs off of Anti. Woo, if you know that song. And then Hit Boy answer with a song off the album, which was the biggest release. Work, 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 work. So he like, that's a cool record, but you gotta say it with your chest. Work, 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 work. I'm like, oh, he is killing them right now. Like, there's no comparison in what's the better record. One was a single, one was it. So, Boy Wonder took that one. So that was another honorable mention. Another honorable mention, Monica and Brandy. It was great seeing these two together after all these years, putting their differences to the side. That one moment where they talked about the slap or the assault that happened with Brandy was classic. It was awkward for a minute, but it was classic. I'm like, yeah, that's great stuff. Unfortunately, it was too one-sided. Brandy, washed Monica. Monica's great, but she just doesn't have the Brandy catalog. You know what I'm saying? So I think Brandy took that one. Another great one was Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isleys. Just for the simple fact, Steve Harvey was commentating, made it all the more classic. So great. So let's get into the top 10. Enough for the possibles. Top 10. Like I said, this is no particular order. Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy. Just the antics alone, it just made this super fucking hilarious, man. Like, the trash talking alone, I'm like, yo, this is crazy right now. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I thought this was a good versus battle matchup from the jump. But Draco fizzled out a little bit towards the end. And Bow Wow just showed that he was really dominant in this one. But that was some classic trash talking. And to me, that's what pulls off a great versus. All right, next one. T-Pain versus Lil Jon. Classic. Listen, this was like trash talking, but it was like complimentary trash talking. And it made you just respect both of these artists' vast catalog and their contributions to the music game. It was thoroughly enjoyable. T-Pain dancing, Lil Jon talking about being an anti-vaxxer and taking vitamins. And it's just great. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those ones that you needed to have on a stereo because you was just jamming in that bitch. Like, oh, and this was an iPhone phone one, like, too, like they had originally. So yeah, this was awesome. Next one. Sean Garrett versus The Dream. Did I say that already? I don't know if I said that. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the next one. The Lox versus Dipset. Come on, we already know what this was, man. We already know what this was. This was classic material right here. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I didn't say show. Okay, yeah. So this was classic material. We all know the Lox, with Jadakiss in particular, damage or demolish Dipset. You got classic memes. You got classic bear sweaters. You got classic everything from this. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside. It's me, Jada. He took off Jules' bed. It was super New York, super disrespectful. Put Jadakiss in my top 5 from the verses. And it ultimately just etched his legendary status in stone. And when Jay-Z talks that nobody can stand on stage, if you can't top that as a true New York performance, the man had on Timbs with shorts. Y'all hear me? That's the most new. Timbs with shorts, camel shorts, with a hat that would have been New York if he didn't have his own brand. That would have been an NY hat. That's a classic New York gear right there. You don't get no more New York than that. Shout out to them. Shout out to that. That shit was brought back hip hop. Next we got Sean Garrett versus The Dream. Come on, man. If you didn't see this, you missing some classic shit right here, bro. Classic trash talking. If you saw Sean Garrett on Joe Budden's podcast, that's nothing compared to this shit right here. This man was in the camera the whole time like this. I can't even get closer because my mic here, but he was just had that snarl on the whole time. I don't know what he was on, booger sugar pill, whatever he was on. He amped it up. He did a Rocky. He got beat up in the earlier rounds, and I think that was his game plan because he went completely in and demolished the Dream. And I ain't gonna say he demolished, but he came through and I think he edged Dream out just slightly because Dream ran out of steam a little bit. And Sean Garrett showed that he had massive records. Great verses. You got to watch it. One of the first ones. Nobody really knew. It was on the iPhone screen. But the Sean Garrett trash talking in class. And Dream's just trying to be all reserved. You know, that's not really his energy. But Sean was just like, Sean on that type of time. Two of Atlanta's greats right there. Kudos to them. I want to work with both of them one day. Great battle. All right, next one we got Keith Sweat versus Bobby Brown. This is one of the ones I predicted. Keith Sweat and Bobby. Everybody thought this was going to be a wipeout by Bobby. Me, true R&B heads knew better. Great trash talking. Keith Sweat on that juice. He's a bully. He was bullying Bobby Brown a little bit. Rumor has it he beat up Bobby Brown years ago. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard Bobby Brown got beat up by a lot of people. JoJo, Casey, and JoJo. I don't know. I'm not one to spread rumors and gossip, so you heard that from me. But nonetheless, this was a great versus. This show, Keith Sweat is one of the greats when it comes to this R&B shit. Catalog is vast. He's written for everybody, so he deserved his flowers. I'm glad he got him while he was there. And for him to be 50-something years old, he looks damn great. So shout out to him and shout out to Bobby Brown as well. He's still one of the GOATs. But Keith Sweat just, he had to just show you like, this is what I really do. So next, we got Big Daddy Kane versus KRS-One, man. If this ain't hip hop, I don't know what it is, man. I like this for the simple fact I was never a big Kane fan, but I grew up on, and a lot of people don't know this, but KRS-One was like one of my favorites at one time, dude. I just love his energy. Come on, when the bridge is over, how do you destroy a whole borough with a diss song? Like, not one person, you destroy a whole borough. Like, the bridge, that whole borough is done. I don't want to hear nothing else from y'all. If this is the best y'all got, talking about MC Shan, then y'all ain't got nothing. If it wasn't for Nas, Queensbridge would be irrelevant in hip hop right now. Thankfully, he was born. Thank his mom, his dad, they birthed him and gave the greatest rapper of all time, because he definitely saved the borough of Queens, because they were like dinosaurs. They were extinct for a minute. And that was thanks to KRS-One, the Blastmaster. I thought Big Daddy Kane was always okay as a rapper. I thought he was dope. I was just never a big fan of his. I was a fan of KRS-One always. Sorry, that's my brother calling me from prison. Call you back in a minute. Yeah, the great battle, just classic hip hop type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was needed for the culture. All right, next up we got Bone Thugs and Harmony versus 3 6 Mafia. Come on now. We already know what this was. This was the last verses that happened. Classic material. Listen, any versus is a fight is one of the best ones ever. And then to come back out after that is not only that's not only like great showmanship, but it just show like niggas gonna do nigga shit when they around. In the words of Maya Angelou, niggas gonna do nigga shit. Maya Angelou did not say that, by the way. Yeah, so dope verses. Obviously, the winner is up for grabs. I think I did a recap. And, if you're watching it looked like 3-6-1, but we'll see what happens. All right, next we got, what did I say? Where we at now here? Okay, DMX versus Snoop Dogg. One of the greats, rest in peace to DMX. You know I had to throw the dog in here. This is one of my favorites, man. Just for the simple fact, the camaraderie, the respect they have for each other. DMX, Fat DMX dancing, saying they look like the number 10. Snoop Dogg dancing. They getting hella high. DMX drinking. They just in their element and having a great time. And it's one of the last times we got to see the dog up close and personal and see his personality on full display, how funny he was. BMX was one of my biggest inspirations. I always tell a story. I had to walk through a rival neighborhood to buy a CD in the cold by myself because none of my friends was around at that time. I don't know what y'all niggas was doing to this day. Luckily, I didn't get spotted. I got in, I skated out, and I fucking loved that CD. And I wind up letting my fucking man Dame use the CD in trade of Master P The Last Don. And I didn't see this nigga forever. When I got my CD back, it was so scratched up, I wanted to fight this nigga. Then he dropped another album that year, so I felt like, man, I got cheated out of some weeks out of my CD. But that's neither here nor there. Still one of my top 5 albums of all time is Dark as Hell is Hot. Snoop Dogg is one of my favorite inspirations for the fact he's able to transcend genres and different just fucking jobs, and he's amazing. So yeah, this one definitely holds a special place in my heart. Thank you for putting that together, and we got to see the dog one last time. And it sucks I never get to work with him. Rest in peace. When I did the recap, I wasn't doing YouTube at that time, so I never even do the recap for that one. But to me, the victor was DMX. Maybe I'll go back and revisit it and do a versus for it. If y'all want to see it, post it in the comments. And last but not least, hold on, let me make sure I got everything. All right, last but not least, y'all know what I'm about to say. If y'all don't know what y'all know what I'm about to say. Post it in the comments. Y'all know Gucci Mane versus Jeezy. Come on, man. You don't understand. Like when I listen, I be submitting my songs to these playlists, and they give you feedback, and they be like, yo, like I got a song illegal out, and one person was like, yo, this remind me of like a young mixtape Wayne, old Jeezy, and a Pusha T. And I was just like, yo, that's a hell of a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate getting compared to people, but you gotta understand, when you influenced by somebody, it's gonna show in your music, whether you want it to or not. That's just life. That's just how it is being a creative. So when I got the Jeezy compliment, I'm like, yo, that's dope, because I wasn't even tripping off the Wayne and the Pusha T, but the Jeezy compliment, I'm like, yo, that's good, because I feel like Wayne is a lyrical type rapper. Pusha T is a lyrical type. But Jeezy wasn't the most lyrical, but he invoked emotion, which made you feel him. You know what I'm saying? Just the way he says some shit. I remember my friends used to be like, yo, why is you listening to this? This nigga rap slow as hell. Same shit they said when Westside Gunn used to, well, he rapped too slow. Like, why you, I'm like, man, you gotta listen to the emotion they putting in their shit, man. Jeezy put that emotion, and it made you, like, understand and realize he's talking about some real shit. What he say? Glass pots in the stove, got the kitchen smelling funky. Like, just shit like that, little shit like that. Like, yo, I've been in that situation. He talking some real shit. So it was good to see him. When the battle, when him and Gucci first got into it, I was Team Jeezy all the way. I didn't really like Icy. I hated that song, and I didn't like Gucci Mane. I didn't listen to him. And since like 2008, I went over to my man Showbiz house, and he was the king of all the new music. I'd be like, yo, I need a new CD. He'd burn me a CD and got all the new shit. And one time he put some Gucci Mane. I called him, like, yo, why you got this Gucci Mane on my shit? He's like, yo, Gucci Mane is the that nigga right now, I'm telling you. I'm like, bro, I don't fuck with him like that. I start listening. I'm like, I'm hearing Kick a Dough, Kitchen, Vet Pass By. I'm hearing I'm like, yo, this is a whole new different type Gucci. Like, who is this nigga? And ever since then, I was Team Gucci from the jump. And I've always straddled the line or compare who was better, like Jeezy or Gucci. You know what I'm saying? And Gucci have a down year, but all right, Jeezy got him. You know what I'm saying? Like recession around that time, and Gucci had all that fire mixtape shit, but Jeezy was that top dog. But then 2009, 2010 came, Gucci was the top dog for a minute. So it's always been but to see them on the stage and to see them give each other love was like something I thought I'd never see as just a fan, and I really appreciated that shit, man. And to see them older, looking more healthier than they did back then, more money than they had back then, as bullshit aside, all of the spooky loke shit, at the end they just showed each other love and performed Icy together. I thought that was super dope, man. So that's like one of my favorites of all time. Let me know what your favorite verses is. I know I'm long-winded and I'm talking a long time, but let me know what your guys' favorite is. I really appreciate swizzbeatz and Timberland for putting these together for us. Gives me content to create, gives us something to do. and they got us through the quarantine. So kudos to them. As always, like I said, I'm the Black Abstract. Peace, love, and prosperity. Peace.